Welcome back, everybody. So the other day I recorded yesterday, and guess what? Bloody recording doesn't even work. My mic did not register, and I started on my little forever world. The video I was talking about AI, and now, oh my goodness, what a start! What a start! What a start! How does this thing work? It's been 2 seconds. It's been 2 seconds, and the blood of another man is on my hands. Well, welcome to the channel. Anyways, I was gonna talk about AI and how it's bad. And see, the audio for the video didn't necessarily go through or work, so I have to record it again. So I was rambling the other video, but maybe I'll be a bit more cohesive and sophisticated with the way I speak, but who actually knows? I might just ramble again. Anyways, today I think what I'm gonna do is first of all, rest in peace. What we're gonna do today is make my own house. Now, I don't have a great track record of making houses, but that's the goal. And you know what? We're gonna grow together, and we're gonna do it handmade, no AI generation. Anyways, there are three things I really want to go through when it comes to AI, and so one would be AI replacing jobs. Two would be AI's effects on us, society, and three would be AI's effects on economy, I suppose. But the first thing I want to mention, I'm just gonna ramble. For the record, I'm not an expert. Major disclaimer: I don't know what I'm really talking about here. I'm just some average schmo, young lad who is making YouTube videos on the internet for fun. So, my word, do not take it as gospel, because it is certainly not. Well, let's begin. First issue with AI: generative AI. I think, for the most part, AI that's generative is bad. AI art, bad. AI music, bad. AI chatbots, bad. I don't know if that counts as generative AI, but I feel like they kind of fall into the same kind of group, because I feel like generative AI and AI chatbots are used kind of in like the same space. But number one, people replacing human connections with machines. Now, I can understand the need for, intimacy and closeness, and maybe an AI can do that for you without offering the stakes and challenge of a real human connection. But the problem is that AI just does what it thinks it wants you to want. I guess it does what it thinks it wants it to do for you. Yes, I think that's what I meant to say. I actually don't know how to speak English anymore. And because of that, I guess you could say AI relationships are shallow in a sense. No, very much shallow, because they're not real anyways. And the fact that they're entirely fabricated and they agree to everything and then kind of play along with you is the real tragedy, because it traps people in thinking that these connections are all they ever need, when a machine can never offer the warmth of a hug or thrill of a kiss. Quote Noel Diesel. I don't know how you say his name. He's the bodybuilder guy. You might have heard of him. But I think it's really important that we keep that in mind for the people who use AI chatbots as a way to socially connect. The truth is that they might find social interaction jarring and that it's too much for them. But if anything, I think it leaves people feeling more lonely, I believe it tricks people into thinking they have something when they really don't. That's the issue. I think these people who use AI chatbots do not deserve to be shunned, but they need compassion. They need to be rehabilitated into society in a sense. And I guess some of them can be functioning members, don't get me wrong. But like said, to use an AI to replace human connection is concerning, because I mean, it's already replacing people in work, so like hell, replace humanity itself. That would be grim. Number two, generative AI and art.
Hey, bro, watch your jet. Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet!
AI and art. Smelly, for the most part. Smelly. I have more to say about it. I have more to say. What I meant to say more so is that generative AI doesn't have the actual nuance of the process. I think what really makes art is the creator's emotions, thoughts, and the effort and time keyword that they put into making a piece. Because all of these subtle factors communicate so much more about the artist, from the way they draw to the way they color to the way or how much time they took. It speaks to something speaks about who they are as an individual. And you know what? I think I want to move from this place. I don't like this village. I don't like this spot. I'd like some mountains or something. So back to generative AI and art. It lacks the process. It lacks the dedication. It lacks the desire of a human being in the creation process. And maybe I heard this story from a friend that somebody used AI art to feel closer to their father, who was an artist. And you know, I think that sounds like a good time for the individual, but at the same time, that art technically isn't even theirs to begin with. And that connection between father and, I don't know, son, daughter, is still, I feel, falsified. It was created by a machine and not the individual themselves. Maybe they realistically, in the moment, felt closer, but at the end of the day, it's still AI art. And personally, in my opinion, if my child did that to feel closer, I'd be touched, don't get me wrong, putting in the effort to try and connect with me. But I wanted them to try. I'd feel more proud, I'd feel more in line with my child if they, you know, worked to create the piece. And even if it isn't on the same quality as Spawn or AI could deliver, they still made that. They went through the effort. There's more emotion, I feel, put into the effort of drawing rather than entering a prompt. You kind of feel me? You kind of get what I'm saying? Another thing I need to mention, AI music, nuisance for the most part. Very annoying. When I'm trying to mind my day and I listen to a song and I hear that it's just slightly off tune, slightly off pitch, and it's like, it's AI. And you know what's even worse is, for me, I like to listen to really niche artists and creators. Astron is an example of this. They had one of their songs, long ass name, maybe I'll put it on the screen here. They had it taken by AI and like put over, and oh my goodness, my silly. And there was another song, Funktown, I don't know. It's that one with the pink person and they got the headphones on and like in the galaxy. That one got replaced by AI as well, and it sounds funny. And that's really annoying for somebody who listens to like really niche artists, because these creators are so small. Most of the time, they can't do anything, right? Because, well, they're niche small creators. They don't have the agency to kind of combat these Goliaths or random goons online who replace their songs. It's a shame, really. It really is. That brings me to my second point that I want to mention about AI. The damage it causes to society. I think we've all seen it now. There's a massive divide over AI. But I'd say on the side where I think AI really needs regulations. That's what it needs. I think AI should be a tool, not a replacement, a tool. It should be used to assist an individual rather than replace an individual. But the thing is, with it replacing people such as artists and writers and everything else, it's concerning because big CEOs, I saw in a Drew Gooden video, are trying to invest into AI to replace their workers to see their funny numbers go up. And you know what? That stinks. For us, the normal people, the average working Joe, you and I, we can't do anything about that. Really, because they're the big shots, but we can do something about that if we stand together. So that's my call to action this video. we gotta rise up. I think what you can do right now, me, abstain from interacting or using any AI as a form of protest. I don't know how effective that is, because I'm just an average Joe. If there's a better method, I'd love to hear it. Drop in the comments maybe. For that reason, it's pretty grim, replacing human beings' jobs, and with us failing to do anything about it, because, well, the big shots have the control, and monopolies are growing bigger day by day. Those are the new Nautilus. How do these guys? Are you sure? I don't even know. Can you like ride them? I saw a drown riding him. I have no clue. I'm gonna keep on carrying on that day. Also, just feel like it's better to do things ourselves. This is just kind of like a general term. I think doing things ourselves, putting in effort, it's the same kind of philosophy I had for art. We need to put in effort ourselves, because as humanity, we're all getting lazy, and you know, it's normal. Humans are kind of like built to take the easy way out. That's why you have tools. That's why little cavemen didn't hammer at rocks with just rocks. They eventually made, I don't know, pickaxes, like we are in Minecraft. You want to punch a block of stone with your fist, you'd make a pickaxe first, and then you'd hit the stone. Nevertheless, it is certainly a bummer. Certainly a bummer. What else do I have to mention about AI? data centers. Also saw this in the Drew Gooden video. I feel like this is the same kind of different point, but the fact that AI has giant data centers contaminate water, and they also increase the amount of electricity used in a district or area, that therefore increases the price of bills that you have to pay for, and they can just waddle on with their day. Pretty scuffed, don't you think? Bloody rude, isn't it? Not much we can do, because I mean, the fact that they're neglecting the workers. Let's go back a bit. Let's go back, all the way back to the Russian Revolution. Now, this is gonna be a far stretch, a far kind of push. That's a lot of guys. You know what? Let's just carry on with the day. I'm not trying to say socialism or communism is the way to go. What I'm trying to say is that the agency of the workers was the most important thing. Vladimir Lenin came to power because of the workers. Yes? Workers wanted better rights. Tsar Nicholas neglected the workers. He neglected his soldiers. He neglected his people. Isn't that kind of the same thing we're going through right now? We're facing neglect as society, for us, our jobs getting replaced by AI and all this jazz. You kind of feel what I'm trying to say here? It's just, as the working class, as society, we need to have more agency. We need to speak up and let the world know that, yes, we don't want to get replaced by AI. Yes, we want jobs. Yes, we want better living. Living is kind of tricky right now. It's not the same struggle that they used to have a couple decades ago, because back then was an economic boom. Housing and all these things, their prices were a lot more manageable. But now it's not like that anymore. It's inflated. Jobs are being replaced. Bills keep going up. Pollution's a thing. There's wars. A lot of conflict. And it's almost all controlled by the big shots. Oh my goodness, look at this little guy. You're lovely. Alright, have a good day. Anyways, back to it. But as the majority, we need to have agency over these big shots, the big corporations, because they're allowed to get away with these things, and there's almost nothing we can do, I feel, on the surface. But like I said, if we humans, how on earth do I use this weapon? What? Hello? Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. Do you know, just back to the axe. Can't go wrong. What? Rigged. Anyways, third point. I'm just kind of going. I'm just saying things. Please don't have a child. Please don't jump me. Okay, back to it. Point 3. I actually kind of fused all my points into one about the data centers, but divided creation in society is quite significant. I feel like I didn't touch on that as much as I could have. But it feels like with the rise of AI, there's a massive divide on people who want to use AI and people who don't want to use AI and abstain. And the people who don't want to use AI want kind of in the same boat as I am. I want regulations for it. I think AI is not nearly controlled enough to be safe. And because of that, it's an issue because, well, as humanity, like I've mentioned this in the past couple of videos, we're all stuck in the same boat. We're all stuck in the same bloat, same coats, yeah, stuck in the same moat, stuck in the, nah, never mind, you want just forget about it. But because of that, because we're stuck, kind of in conflict with each other, I feel as if it's almost like a ploy to distract us from the real issues. I feel like the neglect of other people and the hatred that stems and racism and all these other things. I'm getting so political. I never get this political. Just saying, I'm not a political guy. I don't like talking about politics, but I feel like I'm really delving into that territory. But nevertheless, as this is just more personal. This is not about AI anymore. I'm a loving guy, I feel. I'd like to see people unite and come together and, you know, happy-go-lucky, happy days. Let's be nice to each other, give hugs and kisses or something. But I sound like a hippie, but I genuinely do think it would be nice to see that. And if we did have that compassion for each other, I think humanity would be able to go a long way and develop. But nevertheless, conflict is going to be inevitable, and there's nothing we can truly do about it. It's in our nature. I feel, as humans. Conflict has been existent since the day we've lived. But for it to cease would be nigh incredible. But nevertheless, it is an option. But other than that, I think I've covered most of what I'd like to say about AI. This is like a speed round. I feel like I really covered that quickly. I don't even know how long I've been recording. If it hasn't been that long, 18, 20-ish minutes, that's pretty good. This video is shorter, actually, impressively enough. I've never seen this structure. But I suppose I'll leave it there, folks. Whoa. But nevertheless, that's about everything I have to say, folks. Thanks for listening as usual. Make sure you take care of yourselves, eat well, drink well, sleep well, and have a good day, good night, wherever you are, and I'll see ya. Should I... You know, I wanted to have one little funny remark. You know, it's whatever.